Guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is so very special. We're going to try a new to me brand and we're going to talk about Florasis makeup. I have never tried anything from Florasis before and they sent out a huge PR package. Let me show you. A huge PR package. I've never received such a big package come my way. And I was more than grateful to receive everything. I'm going to test out everything. They're coming out with new Ode to Embroidery collection. I have everything in that line, from the cushion foundation to the pressed powder, to the tinted powder, to the face palette, to the blushes. They also sent me, and I'm very grateful for that. They also sent me an eyeshadow palette. You know this fan packaging, right? You've seen this before. I'm so excited for everything. Their lipstick. Wait till you see everything in action. So if you're ready, let's begin. Let's begin because I don't know where to start. I have a huge box. I think this is the biggest PR box that I've ever received in my life. So let's begin because we have a lot to cover. Okay, let's first start off with this Longwear cushion foundation. This is called the Flawless Jade Breathable Longwear cushion foundation. The embroidery is what this whole collection is focused on. So let me show you a close-up of this. Embroidery, an exquisite art form that intertwines history and culture, captivates with its vibrant colors and intricate patterns. This whole collection is called Ode to Embroidery and this launches on October 21st. Now, this is how the packaging is for everything in this whole collection. This shade that they sent is called N25, which is Rippling Lotus. And this definitely is way too light for me, okay? I don't know how did they decide on what shades to send, but this is way too light and I have places to go. So I don't know. I think this is the only thing that might not work for me. But I am going to test it out. But if it is, I am sure it is too light because I can totally see it being light. Let's apply it and see if I need to. Yeah, it comes up very nicely on the sponge, but I think we definitely need to look at that. Okay, let me just test out the formula and see. It's okay. It seems like it's a medium coverage. Look at that. That looks like paint. It definitely looks like a medium coverage product. It goes very nicely on the face. It's not picking up or skipping or anything like that. But I don't think this shade is for me. So I am gonna just lock it down and I'll clean this up and I'll give it to a friend or something. But the best part is that whatever shade, obviously this is not a shade match, but tend to buy this foundation. It comes with a refill packaging too. So I think that is really great. I don't think that the formula is bad, but the shade is way off. So I am going to use my Tinted foundation and then apply the rest of the products. Basically doing is I am applying the product, their cushion foundation underneath, and then I'll apply the Tinted foundation on top. Just so that I don't know how that would work, but I want it to at least mix it up and see if it breaks up or anything. But also I cannot walk around like paint on my face. So I'm just gonna mix up these two foundations together. I have to, okay? I don't know the pricing of any of the products right now. There are some of the items that they sent across, which is from the older collections, that I'll definitely let you know what the price is. I think in this collection, it comes with a face palette, but not like eyeshadow palette. So they sent an older eyeshadow palette from an older collection to me, as well as a few lipsticks that they released pretty, quite soon, I think a few months back. And of course, everything was sent to me in PR if I've not mentioned it earlier. So I think that's good enough. That's how good it's gonna get. I don't mind that they sent me a wrong shade, but I would love to see that they have a good shade range in their collection. But this was definitely way off for me. By the way, in the Tinted foundation, I am in the shade 33N Macchiato. So if you just want it for a shade reference. So once we have that, they have powders in this line. So let's use that. They have two powders in this embroidery collection. One is a tinted pressed powder and the other one is a breathable pressed powder. So let's take this and see how it rolls. So this one is a tinted pressed powder. It comes with the powder puff too. Let me see. This one is the shade Z25 Lotus. Same packaging with that embroidery. Very elegant looking, I must say. And this is how the tinted powder looks. What I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna use the powder puff. I am gonna take my brush and I'm just gonna run it through my face, because even if it's like a tinted powder, and it's definitely a lot lighter than me, but I still feel like I can make it work just because it's a powder. And it looks like it's setting very nicely. It is the foundation that I had underneath. It's a very light, breathable powder. And they do have like powder, like tinted powders in their collection. So let me just give a quick rundown and see. Their tinted pressed powder are around that $52 price mark. And you're getting like luxury. You definitely dipping into luxury makeup when you are dipping into this. They also have a mirror on the other side. The compact is beautiful. It sets the makeup very, very nicely. They say it will give a soft matte finish on the skin, and I'll totally agree to that. It definitely gave me like that soft matte finish. It looks very effortless on the face, very undetectable on the face. Now let's move on to the other powder that they had in the collection, and this is called the Flawless Jade Breathable Pressed Powder, and this one is in the shade number 2, which is Viola. All of the packaging is like pretty same, so there's no like difference in it. For example, this was the this is the jade powder and this is the pressed tinted powder. So you can see like the packaging is exactly the same. There's no like difference of how it's gonna look. On the back, this is a tinted one and this is the breathable one. So let's use this now. Let's see how this is. Oh, this also has a puff, a very, very luxe puff, I would say. Very nice. And this powder is white. Okay, let me read a little bit about it. It says smooth blur set makeup anytime and anywhere. Gently press the puff into the powder and tap off the excess. Pat lightly on the skin to set the makeup. It appears pretty safe. I don't know how much of the... I'm scared. Okay, let me take a brush first and see. Okay, so it's the powder is not... There's no kick up in the pan, but I can see a little bit of powder on the brush. Oh! I don't know if you saw it or not, but that blurred so nicely. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take my puff. Okay. Yeah. See, that's beautiful. I can totally see a blurred effect. See, look at that. That was beautiful. Yeah. So this doesn't have any tint to it, but I'm pretty sure everybody can use it. Very nice. And they did have this product in the earlier lines too, which was around $46. I see like a similar name in their collection, which is Flawless Jade Breathable Pressed Powder, and in the shade Viola itself. So I'm thinking that they only changed the packaging for this embroidery collection. It says it's infused with breathable silk powder and shine controlling jade nephrite powder. Each pan is baked at a low temperature for 24 hours. When applied, it glides over the skin with minimum fallout for almost an undetectable soft matte finish. I love this. I am more of a combination skin type person, and I totally can see myself like wearing this, like not even kidding. I love the puff. I love the powder. This is gonna stay outside and I'm gonna use it regularly, and I'll give you my final thoughts towards the end of the month. Okay, I'm very impressed by that. Now, my favorite part of this collection, I feel like, which is the Eastern Bee Sculpting Makeup Palette. Wait till you see this. This one is in the shade number 1. And also, I feel like this one, I saw it on their website. It's just a different packaging for this series. Eastern Beats Sculpting Makeup Palette. And I think this palette is going to retail for $49. Look at that. So pretty, right? So pretty. Wait till you see the inside. And they have two shades in their line. This one is number 1 and the other one on number 2 has like a few slight differences. But let me show you the one. Look how beautiful that is. I don't know if this is gonna work on me or not with my skin tone, but this is beautiful. The stunning art of three-dimensional relief engraving meets the 4 auspicious beasts: azure dragon, white tiger, vermilion bird, and black tortoise, the legendary guardians of the eternal elements and representatives of the 4 seasons. The 4 beasts evoke a sense of elegance with every application. I love it. Love it. Cannot wait. This has everything that you need in a palette. I'm not going to swatch it because I don't want to move the embossments that is in it. Like everything was well thought out. Like I can totally see azure dragon, white tiger, vermilion bird, and black tortoise. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's start. I am going to take black tortoise. Yeah, black tortoise shade as a bronzer and see if this works. Okay, I can definitely see this on my skin tone, which is good because I definitely feel the second shade is more deeper as compared to the first one. And the second shade, the difference I feel like is this highlighter is more like pinkier highlighter, and this, instead of being a mauve, it's more coral. The bronzer seems a little bit more dark, but the powder seems lighter. So I don't know about that, but I can tell you how I feel about number 1, which is the one that I have, and it's working beautifully. It's not like overly warm by any means. It's more like a bronzer contour together in one. I love it. And I see that the embossment is definitely too deep embossed in the pan. So it's not like coming off, which I would be devastated if this comes off, because the way I gasped when I looked at the embossment is unreal. Absolutely unreal. I've definitely seen Florasis makeup come in my feed, but I never went across and like bought. And when I actually saw their lipstick on Instagram, like they teased their lipstick on Instagram, and I was like, that looks absolutely beautiful. And I was telling one of my friends that, oh my gosh, that lipstick looked absolutely lovely. And I really want to try their makeup. And the next day they reached out to me saying, do you want to try our makeup? We're coming out with a new collection. And I was like, yes, say no more. Because I've seen their makeup and I was like, oh, this would be such a good time to try it. And I definitely can see this blush also on my skin. It's definitely more me. It's more like, you know, the Patricia Not Too Much blush. It's that tone of blush. So let me show you. So because this sits on my vanity all the time, it's more that tone. It's that mauviness that you're looking with this blush too, especially with like the cream side. I totally can see it. I hope you can see the blush too. It's very winter appropriate for me. I love it. Although I wear this shade all year, throughout the year, okay? I love it. There you go. Let's quickly run down on that powder too, just a little bit. Let's just to see if it makes any difference. Okay, this definitely has a little bit more tint to it as compared to that Breathable powder, which was pretty much like translucent. I can see a little bit of tint coming throughout it with this powder. Okay, so that's nice that everything works for me in this palette. Let's move on to the highlighter. It looks so beautiful in the pan. I cannot even. That's stunning. Okay, let's apply it and see. Oh, I love it. I love it's not glittery. These are all like so elegant looking. It's not glittery by any means, but it has a little bit of like iciness to it, which I feel like complements this palette really, really well. It's very subtle and glowy, but not shimmery, by any means. I love these kind of highlighters. If you know me, you know I don't like a glittery highlighter. And this is not glittery by any means. Oh, this is a big hit. Big hit in my opinion. And this palette again retails for $49. I feel like this is beautiful. Beautiful art. This is like embroidery at its best. The embossment lovely. The quality of the palette amazing. Okay, let's move on. Oh, I should have tried the other blush too. Oh my gosh. Okay. This whole collection is gonna come out with 3 blushes. I have 3 shades with me. The packaging is small, concise, the same kind of packaging on all of them. So let me show you the shades. We have this shade, which is the shade called Apricot Milk. It's more like a peachy toned blush. Very, very pretty. And then we have number 2, which is in the shade Coral Whisper, which is more pink leaning. Yeah, pinky mauve, I would say, like a neutral pink. Not even mauve, neutral pink. And then the third shade is called Candy Clouds, which is a baby pink. Okay, totally feel like this is not gonna work on me because of my skin tone, but I feel like I can make the rest of the 2 work. I am leaning towards this, which is the shade Coral Whisperer. So I'm not gonna swatch this because I feel like someone can absolutely appreciate this. But these 2, I'm gonna keep it with me. Okay. Okay. Let's see how it rolls first. How it applies on my cheek. Okay, I'm gonna take another brush, pretty clean, not picking up much on the brush. So let me just swirl it around. Actually not picking much. I don't know why. Okay, let's apply it and see. Oh, I think I can see it on my face. What's the sorcery? Because I don't see it apply on the brush, but I see it on my face. Am I dreaming? Yes, I totally see it. I totally see it on my face, but I don't see much on the brush. Yes, I can, but I mean, it's not that much. Okay. Really, really pretty, and it applies really nicely. I definitely feel that the shade range can be a little bit worked on just because it's all too light for me. I can definitely make this work, and so does the first one, I think, which is Apricot Milk. I feel like even this is a little too light. But yeah, Coral Whisper would be the shade point for me. But I can see people liking it. If you're a fair complexion or a light complexion, you might really like it. I think that's a new product to their line, this powder blush, because I don't see it in their line. So far, so good. I definitely like it, but is it like my favorite? We'll have to see it towards the end of the video, okay? Okay, now before we dive into the lipsticks, I am going to test out an eyeshadow palette. And this palette, when I got this, it's an understatement how pretty this is, okay? And this is called Florasis Floral Engraving Beauty Goddess Makeup Palette. Let me show you what it looks like because this is stunning, absolutely stunning. This is how the palette comes in. Like, look how stunning this palette is. It's so crazy. I've always seen, I'm pretty sure you've seen this like fan packaging. This is breathtakingly beautiful. It's a magnetic palette and it's a heavy magnet. And this is how the palette looks. The shade name of this palette is called The Encounter. The folding fan shaped palette takes inspiration from the ancient Chinese love story, the Ode to Goddess of the Luo River. Its delicate patterns depicts the poet cow experience witnessing the ethereal goddess, paying a homage to a bittersweet love story between a human and a deity. Oh my gosh, look at the stunning packaging. I cannot even take my eyes off the beauty of this. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to do with this palette. It's so pretty, so pretty. We have to see if it performs that well or not because I'm excited, absolutely excited. Let's start off with this shade called Bright Eyes. It's more like coral. I'm gonna take that on the inner part of the crease. I picked up very lightly, one because I am scared for the embossment of the palette. It definitely shows up. Look at that. That's pretty, right? It's not like overly pigmented, absolutely not. It's a very light, breathable powder. take in account of Makeup by Mario or Hindash's formula. That's how it feels like. Now let's go into this shade, the first one here, and this one is in the shade called Lush Pine, and I am gonna take that right there in the other part of the crease. And Lush Pine is definitely more like rosewood shade, I would say. So pretty. I do see a difference for sure. The other one was more coral and this one is more rosewood, but tone wise I feel like it's pretty similar. These are not like flat matte by any means. If you've used like hourglass powders, it feels like that. Like it has some kind of a sheeniness to it. It definitely feels like a luxe palette. Let me tell you the price. The price of this palette is $59. So once we have the crease all done, I want to blend everything out with this shade, this one. And this one is in the shade called Fluid Glance. And then let's just blend it out. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Like it's more mauvey and it blends very nicely with the blush that we applied. Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay. And that blends everything very nicely too. Okay. Now, for the lower lash line, I am going to take this shade. And this one is called Gorgeous Elegance. And I'm going to take that on the lower lash line. Let's move on to this shade, which is the deepest shade of the palette. Don't want to pronounce it because I know I'm going to butcher it out. I'm going to take that on the extreme outer corners. And then just place it right there. There's definitely a little bit of kick up in the pan, but also this is not a palette where I want to like dig into the pans. So I'm lightly gazing it over it. So that's the depth that you're gonna expect out of this. And I'm gonna just blend the edges with the same brush with no additional product. And now I'm gonna start off with this shade and then we'll take some blue into account. So Graceful Beauty and then Clearwater Bay. Let's do that. Oh, this shade definitely feels a little different. I don't know if it's because if it's shimmer or not. I am gonna put some NYX glitter glue on the eyes. But yes, that shade was definitely more creamier as compared to the other shades that I used, because as soon as I went with a brush, it definitely messed up with the embossment, if you can see. Can you see that? And I didn't even go that hard, but it's definitely more creamier. Yeah, so I can see, definitely see that burgundy and that shimmeriness coming through. It's definitely not glittery by any means. So if you're looking for this palette for like shimmer and glitter, this palette is not for you. It's more like elegant. It feels like Tom Ford shadows. It's more like, it's satin. It's very elegant. It's not going to emphasize your texture or anything. Like nothing over the top. I'm very sad that the embossment went away with that. There you go. I'm going to flip the brush. This is refer number 28. And I'm going to go into this blue. Yeah, I think it's the shimmer shades. The shimmer shades are definitely much more creamier, much more emollient as compared. It definitely feels like cream. It doesn't feel like a powder shadow. I'm going to just take that towards the inner part. And I'm just going to plop it right there. Should I even dare to touch my fingers into it? Because I wanted to see. Yeah, this definitely needs building. If you want like opaqueness, it definitely needs some building. Look at that. It's very elegant looking on the eyes. Yeah, this definitely feels like cream. What are you talking about? Look at that. Yeah, finger is the way to go, but also as soon as you dip your fingers, the embossment is going to go. Oh, I'm so sad about that. The embossment will go away. Like look at that blue. The top embossment is gone. Oh my gosh. Yeah, That's pretty. It's definitely pretty. Look at that. It's giving me iciness. I am gonna go back into that burgundy shade with my fingers, and I'm just gonna, yeah, it's the finger application. You want pigment, you apply it with your fingers. It's like a cream shadow. Do I need to touch the, yeah, the powder shadows definitely feel like powder. You can definitely apply your brush into it. Cream shadows is for the fingers for sure. Okay, now for the inner part, for the inner corners, I'm gonna go into this gold shade. It's a subtle gold, it's not like too much, but also a cream shadow. I am gonna take that in my inner corner of the eye, right there, okay? And then the last shade that we've not used is this pink shade. So let's take that. That looks like a cream. I'm just gonna plop it right in the center for some kind of a brightness and meshing the two shades together. Okay, let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara. So that's how the eyes are looking so far. We have to finish it off with our lips. So let's talk about lipsticks, because this was another thing that is like a work of art, okay? Look how the lipsticks come. It is so pretty, you guys. So pretty. Like, look at the packaging. I don't think I've ever seen like such a luxe packaging. It's a collector's item. Like, this is no joke at all. It's so pretty. So pretty. I have two with me. This one from the Blooming Rouge Love Lock lipstick, and this one is just called Just Love You. So let me show you the packaging. That's how it pops out. It's heavy, it's luxe. It's really pretty. Let me swatch this because otherwise it's not going to be any use. But look at the embossment, you guys. Look at the embossment. It is so pretty. And the lipstick, like the bullet itself, has the Florasis logo on it. I am going to just swatch this just to see what will go. This is like a true red shade. Look at that. It looks like a very soft matte finish, which will go with this look absolutely. And then the next one, I got two lipsticks from them. This one is from their original line, and this one is the Blooming Rouge Love Lock lipstick, same packaging, absolutely. And this one, I have the shade My One and Only. Very pretty. Oh my gosh, I don't, how am I even gonna apply this? And this is more like pinkier, but same formula. It's more pinky. Look at that. This as like a blotted lip would be so beautiful, but for like opaque lipstick, I appreciate more like reds on me rather than pinks. But I can see this with like a brown lip liner looking so beautiful. But I'm gonna go with that red. And these lipsticks is for $49. Definitely a collector's item. I need to go with the lip liner. And this one is in the shade Living Legend by Pat McGrath. Reproducing the Eastern miniature relief craftsmanship, with each turn of the bullet, you'll discover an ancient Chinese romance told in an intricate engravings to convey romantic and everlasting love. How stunning is that? That's how the red lipstick is looking. I'm feeling like I should mix a little bit of pink. What do you say? Should I? I feel like that's too red. I don't know if it changed a lot or not. I like it. I like the formula for sure. It's very soft matte finish on the lips. Very pretty. Let me give you a final look. I really love the way how this entire look turned out to be. It's definitely not loud by any means. It's very ethereal. I definitely went on the most smokier side that I would go with that palette. Obviously with the lips too. Like, you've hardly seen me wear like red lipsticks. Very rare. But I would definitely like wear it like without any eye makeup too. But it also goes with everything. I really loved it. Let's run down everything so that I can tell you like which one was my most favorite and which one was not. Let's start off with the foundation. The cushion foundation, definitely way off color wise, but I feel like the formula of the product was really good. It's definitely more on like a medium coverage product, and it is very smooth on the face. It's really pretty. Of course, I have that underneath the Tinted foundation on top. I definitely feel like if this was my correct shade, I would have loved it even more because I love the formula. And I also feel like because you get an extra refill inside this package, this is totally worth it. Let's talk about the pressed powder as well as the breathable powder. I feel like if you have to choose one, I would go with the breathable formula because this, when as soon as I applied it, it felt like so smoothing underneath the eyes, and I can totally see like a very smoothed out effect on my eyes. This definitely does it. Like it sets the makeup, but it's very, very lightweight. But obviously this is not my correct shade, you can see, but this definitely smoothed everything out. I was impressed about this rather than this for sure, but by no means is this like the bad product or anything, but if I have to choose one, I would use the breathable one. Okay, now let's move on to the blushes. I feel like the blush that I used, which one was Coral Whisper, I definitely feel that I could see it on my face, but it is nothing that you need to like go run out and buy because I didn't see like major difference. It's very smoothing on the face. It's like, this is the shade as you can see on my finger. It's very mauve and it is very light, and this is the deepest out of the lot. So I feel like if you are light, medium and above, I don't think that more apart from this any other shade would work for you. So do keep that in mind. I definitely feel like they should increase the shade range because this itself is way too light on me. So that's my 2 cents on it. My favorite product from the Ode To Embroidery series was the face palette. This is stunning, absolutely stunning. This, I can see myself traveling with it, using it all the time because it has all the 4 products. If I would buy one thing from this series, it would be this face palette. It is Eastern Beast Sculpting Makeup Palette, and this has a powder, a bronzer contour, a blush and an highlighter, and that's exactly what I look for in a face palette. And I love that all 4 of the elements are in this, and comes with a mirror too, which is beautiful. It is compact, it is luxe, it's beautiful. Okay, let's also talk about the lipsticks. I really love the way how these lipsticks feel on my lips, but also saying I see a lot of, and obviously they sent me only 2 shades, but I see a lot more shades on their website. So I'm pretty sure you can find anything that is like wearable for you. For me, I feel like these were the 2 shades that were sent to me, which is pretty close. Of course, one is red and the other one is like a pinky red, but I feel like it's still very close. Like if it was a brown and a red, I feel like I would have made it like more workable. But saying about the formula, it's very nice. And of course the packaging, it's a collector's item. I will cherish this for my lifetime. Last, certainly not the least, let's talk about the palette, eyeshadow palette. If you are looking for shimmer and glitter and like sparkliness, this palette is not for you. If you are looking for a collector's item that will provide like beautiful eyeshadow, like quality wise, definitely compare this to like Tom Ford or something. Like, okay, because the mattes are very blendable, it's very silky on the eyes, and the shimmers, they're very like, it's satin, it's very beautiful and ethereal on the eyes. You're not gonna see like too much sparkle or anything. This is definitely a collector's item in my opinion. The artwork, the embossment is what takes this palette to another level. I can stare at this palette for an entire day and not get bored, because you will find every little single detail that was captured in this palette so nicely. And yesterday when I was like taking pictures of this palette, I was like, oh, I didn't see that, and it's so mesmerizing, to say the least, about this palette. This is so pretty, and the packaging is beautiful, it's magnetic, so it's not going anywhere for sure. I really love this. So that's what I love about the entire collection that was sent to me. Of course, this was sent to me in PR, and I thank you, Florasis, really very much. I do have a code with them. My code is Smithy Sony. If you want to pick up anything, my code does apply on the entire website. And again, Ode To Embroidery collection launches on October 21st. I'm pretty sure I will post my video as soon as they reveal their entire collection, so stay tuned for that. And the entire collection would be available on their website. I'll put links to everything in the description box below for you. But that's all for today. If you did like my video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.